Okay, so hello everybody. This is my first attempt at a video blog. Um, I wanted to. Something happened the other day, and I wanted to actually give face for once and actually express, showing me, looking at you, and kind of give you an idea of why. And here with me is my stepdaughter. Normally we call her my daughter, but since I don't talk about her a whole lot, it'd be a little weird if suddenly I have a kid. So,
Yeah. Hi, I'm Lorelei or SirenSong Love.
and you can visit her YouTube channel. But anyway, so the other day I'm a part of a bunch of Goldenhar support sites. And I even have one of my own. I don't really, I mean, I police it, but I don't really participate a whole lot. So we were talking about the movie Wonder, based on the book by R.J. Palacio. And the book, I will admit, it's a great book. Fantastic, wonderful.
Yeah, I read it in 5th grade, and it was really amazing, and it made me sad, but because it was like so emotional and amazing.
Right, and it's based on, it's about a boy named Auggie, who has Treacher-Collins syndrome. Very similar to Goldenhar. From what I've seen, and this is just me speaking from not a whole lot of experience, they kind of have like a wider set mouth, kind of a smaller face this way. But not a whole lot of differences. We have a lot of the same problems. We deal with a lot of the same issues. And so the thing that bothers me is I'm okay with the book. There are some problematic issues there, but I'm not going to get into those right now. But with the movie, it stars what I like to say cranial normative, a regular kid, no issues, no problem, great kid, really sweet, but doesn't have any craniofacial issues. So I have a problem there because when I started asking around about why, I was told by someone who worked with the producers and had something in New York that they didn't want to even attempt it because craniofacial kids have too many medical issues, which is crap. Now, there are some who have a lot of medical issues throughout their life, but most are usually done with any really hazardous, need to take care of this kind of medical issue by the ages of 2 to 5. So that means that by the time they're Augie's age, when she's going into 6th grade, they're fine.
Isn't he like 12?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's 12 years old.
Yeah, because you're going into 6th grade.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he might be 11. But, so, me and my friend Dwayne, and he does a lot of his own stuff. He teaches young kids about bullying. He goes to schools and tries to educate. Great guy. We were talking about how problematic Wonder is and how we don't appreciate the fact that they didn't even try to cast a kid with craniofacial differences in that role. They never made any attempt at all.
They should include, because I feel like directors only get people who are normal or skinny. They don't put people who have differences who aren't really accepted into movies or books or anything.
Precisely. Like in Shallow Hal, she's supposed to be a fat woman, but she's played by Gwyneth Paltrow the whole time. The only time you ever see her fat is Gwyneth Paltrow in a bodysuit. We don't want to.
Which isn't okay.
Yeah. So we would rather cast a handsome actor and put a little latex on. And obviously, I've seen, in the trailers or the video. My issue really is the fact that they didn't even try. Now, me and Dwayne were talking about this on one of the Goldenhar support sites. And someone stated that they felt like it was better that way because when the role is over and he takes off his makeup, he won't startle little kids. do keep in mind that this is a Goldenhar support site, and a lot of young kids do follow this stuff, as well as adults who have issues and trouble even walking outside. Okay, so basically what she said was, we don't want you to look like you do because it might scare little kids. So we'd rather just put you off in the back burner and have our little story so we can feel better about ourselves. But at the end of the day, we don't have to look at you.
Yeah, even though it's making them feel more worse about themselves. Like, making them feel bad about themselves, even though they should be proud about themselves and, like, happy.
Yeah.
Makes them feel like monsters, even though they're not. They're really sweet and human.
Precisely. And it's the last thing that we as people need is to feel lesser than. We have had that our whole life. You know, and when it comes to this movie, which is based on a book that is entirely fiction, mind you, Auggie does not exist.
Auggie is a fictional character.
Completely fictional. Created by a woman who I respect the story. I have read the book. It was before I knew that it was all fiction. I love it, but it's inspired by a story of her young kid having a bad reaction to someone with craniofacial differences and her having a learning moment. And I love the fact that she educated herself, she did the work and realized, oops, I made a mistake. You know what? I should have engaged, I should have done this. But now this book and this film and all this stuff is exploding and people love the story. It's inspirational. Oh my goodness, it just makes me cry. We live that every day. And worse. I mean, Auggie really kind of had it light, trust me.
I feel like everybody wants to make a movie out of a book, even though they follow nothing from the book, and they make, like, more fake than it already is. Like,
more dramatized?
Yeah, like, latex and makeup isn't the same as somebody with an actual disease that can actually play the part and can relate with it because they can actually put more, like, feeling into it and emotion because they get it.
And I've been told by a multitude of people on that site, well, they're actors, they're playing a role, that's what they're supposed to do. But they're representing us as craniofacial people. And at the end of the day, we can't take this off. It doesn't peel off like latex. At the end of the day, we have to go to bed with ourselves and try to sleep with ourselves and be happy with ourselves and be able to wake up in the morning and get up and do it all over again. We don't have those options.
It can be really hard for some people.
Yes.
Like, some people, excuse me if this may trigger anybody, they may want to commit suicide, which isn't good or anything like that, because it's really sad, and it's taking less people from our world when they are amazing people, and it's really not okay for people to just, like, go, you're a monster, you can't play this part because you don't look right. It will scare normal kids.
Even though the part is all about a kid who doesn't look right. I mean, the whole book is about accepting Auggie for who he is. And saying, Auggie, you can do anything, you can be anything, you can tackle the world. But we don't want you acting in this movie. Now, if they at least had held some form of audition, given a chance for, kids with craniofacial differences
they
to attempt.
Pick some random person.
Well, he's not random, he's a great actor.
Well,
and I've got no issues with Jacob Tremblay.
And stuff, and then they think it's okay, but it's not.
Yeah. And I've got no issues with Jacob Tremblay. He's a great actor, and he's a sweet kid.
I've seen him.
Yeah. But again, that lady really, I don't know if she realizes how hurtful those words were. Especially being an educator of a GHS kid.
Can I tell the story about when we went to church and how they talked to you?
Oh, yeah, well, I had some people talk to me in kindergarten speak. Hi.
Is there anything we can help you with?
But I get that every day, and I've already talked about that in the blog, so.
And it sucks, because it was at our church,
and we gotta, right, but we gotta stay on subject.
Yeah.
So, I really just wanted to call this out. Yes, I know that actors are supposed to portray the role, but there are some situations where you give respect to I don't know what that said.
It happens to me all the time.
Okay, when you give respect to the role in and of itself, when you really need to cast someone who has that affliction. In Mask, it's a little different because Leonidas is extremely rare, and also most people who do it, contract it are usually actually dead before they hit Rocky's age. I know you don't know what I'm talking about, so it's a little different. So that's kind of a whole different situation. But this is all erasure, and we face that kind of thing every day. You know, we have black people facing erasure in movies, media, all over the place, and people of color all over the map are erased from movies because we'd rather see pretty white people. You know, but now it's happening to us, and we already get not enough representation as it is. And while I know that some are so happy to have any kind of media representation, we should not settle for a fictional story with a cranial normative actor who has no clue what it feels like. I'm glad that he went and talked to people and tried to gather information and experience. But until you can't take your face off, you can't live it. You have no idea.
It should be somebody with that actual disease to play.
I've got scars from the beatings I took in middle school. You know, I've got memories that nobody would ever want. Kids caught my hair on fire. I've got a scar on the back of my head from a rock.
Oh yeah.
All kinds of stuff. It's bonkers. You know, and I had to live that every day and try to find a reason to get up in the morning every day. And I went to school from kindergarten. I was never homeschooled. I was straight public schooled.
Same.
You know, I was lucky that I grew up in a small town. When I moved to Albuquerque is when it got a little tough. You know, but again, until you can't kick it off, you have no idea what it feels like. Because seriously, that despair and that loneliness is an awful, awful feeling. But it also gets better. I mean, I have a fantastic life. I have a great job. I have a great partner. I have great kids. And I am very, very happy. And so I just had to call that out. I talk to little kids all the time. And I get alternate reactions. True, sometimes they burst into tears. You know what? But I sit there and I talk with them and I coax with them until they realize that I'm not a threat. And you know what they take from that? Wow, these people aren't monsters.
They're nice.
They're nice. Kids love me. So, yeah, no worries there, you know, and I just wanted to make that clear. You know, she also said that they can't handle that much science. Well, we are not discussing the Human Genome Project with a 4-year-old. All they need to know is that sometimes people are born a little different. It's not their fault, and they're not going to do anything to you.
And there's different people in the world. Like, not everybody looks like this all the time, 24/7. There's different people, which makes the world even more unique.
Right. You know, so it was a really... I know she didn't mean anything bad by it, but it was one of the most hurtful things I had ever seen or heard in my life. And I just want to make this very clear that as a craniofacial kid, as a craniofacial adult, you know, you are good enough. You know, you really can do darn near anything you want to do. And don't let the haters bring you down. So, I guess I had to call that out because I was really upset. And I really needed to do that with my face. I wanted you to look at me. I wanted me to be able to tell you, hi, I'm here. This is what I look like. This is what I sound like. Yeah, I'm a little slurry. Kind of sound like a drunk Sean Connery. You know, I look a little funny, but there's nothing really wrong with me. And you know what? If you educate your kids and have a little patience, it's all worth it. So I think that's the role we should be taking. Rather than cushioning little kids from the monster, maybe we should educate a little better. So, on that note, I'm going to play a song for you. I got my keyboard here. And I need my sustain pedal.
Do you need it plugged in? Or
It is plugged in.
There you go. Want me to plug it in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so we're good. We're going to move this.
Here. I'll take it down.
You're fine. Get that a little closer to the amp.
That made me cry, Kendall. Thanks.
This is called The Prophet, and it's my most popular song.
And it's really beautiful.
I hope you enjoy. I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm actually going to stand.
Sorry. People who play keyboard can get uncomfortable just sitting and slouching to.
No, it's just an awkward position.
And I've played my keyboard and it is really uncomfortable just to.
Do me a favor and adjust that.
Down.
Up. There we go. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you for watching.